What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Wanderlust Diaries, the podcast where we share our travel disasters and triumphs. I'm Ethan, coming to you from the concrete jungle of New York City, where the subway barely works and the pizza is perfect.
And I'm Sarah, broadcasting from rainy London, where we queue politely and complain about the weather with remarkable consistency. Though I must say, after our recent Thailand adventure, even London drizzle feels like a pleasant change from tropical humidity.
Oh man, don't even get me started on the humidity. Sarah and I just got back from what I can only describe as the most insane, incredible, life-changing week in Thailand. And by life-changing, I mean I'm pretty sure I lost 10 pounds just from sweating through my clothes every single day.
Yes, and that's before we discuss your unfortunate encounters with Thai spice levels. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, aren't we? Perhaps we should start with our arrival in Bangkok and what I like to call the Great Transportation Reality Check.
Oh my God, yes. Okay, so picture this. We land at Bangkok Airport, jet-lagged and optimistic, thinking we'll just grab a normal taxi to our hotel. But no, our driver suggests we take a tuk-tuk to experience the real Bangkok. Sarah, I've never felt closer to death while simultaneously having the time of my life.
It was rather like being strapped to a very loud, very fast shopping cart driven by someone with a death wish. Traffic laws are apparently more of a suggestion in Bangkok. Our driver was weaving between buses while simultaneously texting and eating noodles.
Multitasking at its finest. But you know what? After surviving New York traffic for 30 years, I thought I was prepared. I was not prepared. Bangkok traffic makes Manhattan look like a peaceful Sunday drive through the countryside. The honking alone could wake the dead.
The river transport was slightly more civilized, though civilized is relative when your long-tailed boat captain is clearly auditioning for the next Fast and Furious film. We took one of those boats to visit the floating markets.
Dude, that boat ride was like a theme park attraction. We're flying across the Chao Phraya River, water spraying everywhere, and I'm thinking this is either going to be epic content for Instagram or my final Instagram post. The floating market was incredible, though. Vendors selling everything from fresh coconuts to
Deep-fried insects, which you mysteriously avoided despite your usual I'll-try-anything bravado.
hey, I have standards. Some of them. But let's talk about the actual sights, because Bangkok blew my mind. The Grand Palace is like if someone took every piece of gold in the world and decided to build the most elaborate, over-the-top architectural masterpiece imaginable.
Absolutely stunning, though rather crowded with tourists taking selfies at every possible angle. The level of detail in the artwork and architecture is genuinely breathtaking. Every surface seems to tell a story.
And Wat Po with that massive reclining Buddha? I mean, I've seen big statues before, but this thing is like 150 feet long and covered in gold leaf. It's one of those moments where you just stand there feeling very small and very impressed by human creativity.
Though you did manage to accidentally point your feet toward the statue, which is rather disrespectful in Buddhist culture. The monk was very gracious about correcting you.
Cultural learning experience. Nobody gave me the full etiquette briefing beforehand, but that's what makes travel great. You learn by making mistakes. Speaking of mistakes, let's discuss what I'm calling the Great Curry Catastrophe of 2024.
Oh dear, here we go. This should be entertaining for our listeners.
So, we're at Chattachak Weekend Market, which is like 15,000 vendors selling everything imaginable. I'm feeling confident, adventurous, ready to experience authentic Thai cuisine. I walk up to this food stall and the nice lady asks what spice level I want. And like an idiot, I say, make it authentic Thai spicy.
Famous last words, really.
This curry arrives and it looks innocent enough. Beautiful green color, nice aroma. First bite, and I swear time stopped. My mouth was literally on fire. Not metaphorically on fire, actually on fire. I'm sweating, tearing up, and the vendor is looking at me with this mix of concern and amusement.
You turned approximately the color of a ripe tomato and consumed 3 bottles of water in under 5 minutes. The poor woman kept offering you milk and bread while you sat there making these peculiar whimpering sounds.
But here's the thing. Once my taste buds recovered from the assault, I realized it was probably the most complex, flavorful thing I'd ever eaten. Thai food is like culinary art. The balance of sweet, sour, salty, and spicy is incredible when it's not actively trying to murder you.
I quite enjoyed the milder dishes myself. The pad CE was lovely, and the mango sticky rice was absolute perfection. Much more civilized than watching you have a religious experience with chili peppers.
You missed out. Pain builds character. But seriously, the street food scene there is unbelievable. Fresh ingredients, bold flavors, and prices that would make New Yorkers weep with joy. A full meal for like $3 that would cost $30 in Manhattan.
The tom yum soup was divine, and those little banana pancakes from the street carts were addictive. Though you must say you showed remarkable restraint after the curry incident. No more authentic spicy requests.
I learned my lesson. Sort of. Anyway, after a few days of surviving Bangkok's beautiful chaos, we flew down to Phuket, and oh man, what a difference. It's like going from the most intense urban experience to tropical paradise in 2 hours.
The contrast was quite dramatic, wasn't it? Though the humidity followed us south. Landing in Phuket and seeing those limestone cliffs rising out of crystal clear water was like stepping into a postcard, a very sweaty postcard.
Kata Beach was incredible though. White sand, clear water, and way fewer crowds than I expected. I finally got to try jet skiing, which is basically like riding a motorcycle on water at 50 miles per hour. Pure adrenaline rush. Almost made up for nearly dying from curry.
Yes, and you nearly collided with several longtail boats in the process. I preferred the more peaceful activities myself. The sunset from Promtep Cape was absolutely stunning. Very romantic if you could ignore Ethan's constant photo taking.
Content is king. But you're right about that sunset. One of those moments that makes you forget about everything else. Work stress, city noise, the fact that I nearly hospitalized myself with Thai food, just sitting there watching the sun drop into the ocean while these limestone cliffs create this incredible silhouette.
The boat tour to James Bond Island was quite touristy but impressive nonetheless. Though I'm beginning to detect a pattern with Thai boat captains and their rather cavalier attitude towards speed limits and safety regulations.
They know how to make transportation an adventure, that's for sure. The sea kayaking through those caves was unreal, too. Paddling through narrow passages into hidden lagoons that feel like secret worlds nobody else knows about. Nature's own theme park, but better because it's real and millions of years old.
The snorkeling was lovely as well. Once you got over your irrational fear of that perfectly harmless reef shark, watching you frantically swim in the opposite direction was rather entertaining.
It had teeth! Shark teeth! My New York brain doesn't have protocols for underwater predator encounters, but the marine life was incredible once I calmed down. All those colorful fish in their natural habitat, way better than any aquarium.
The night markets in Phuket were delightful, too. Excellent seafood, and thankfully nothing too spicy for your traumatized palate. Though you did insist on trying durian fruit, which was an experience.
Durian is the weirdest thing. It smells like death wrapped in garbage, but tastes like vanilla custard. How is that possible? It's like nature's practical joke. But hey, when in Thailand, right? You gotta try everything at least once.
Your try-everything philosophy is rather admirable, if occasionally hazardous to your health. The Thai massage on the beach was lovely, though, very relaxing after all your high-energy adventures, though watching you try to stay still for an entire hour was entertainment in itself.
I'm not built for meditation, but it was amazing. Those masseuses have magic hands or something. I felt like a completely different person afterwards, relaxed, centered, ready to take on more spicy food challenges, which Sarah wisely prevented.
Someone had to be the voice of reason. So, listeners, what's our verdict on Thailand, despite Ethan's various misadventures and near-death experiences?
Absolutely incredible. Look, the tuk-tuks are terrifying. The spicy food might send you to the hospital, and you'll sweat through every piece of clothing you own. But the people are amazing, the culture is fascinating, the food, when it's not trying to kill you, is incredible, and the experiences you'll have are unlike anywhere else on Earth.
Couldn't agree more. Just perhaps start with mild curry and work your way up gradually, and maybe do some research on local customs before visiting temples. Save yourself some embarrassment.
Good advice. And seriously, if you're thinking about going to Thailand, just book the ticket. Yes, it's hot. Yes, it's chaotic. Yes, you might accidentally order something that sets your mouth on fire, but that's all part of the adventure. The memories you'll make are worth every sweaty, spicy moment.
Beautifully put. And on that inspiring note, that's a wrap on our Thailand adventure. Thank you for joining us on Wanderlust Diaries. I'm Sarah from London.
And I'm Ethan from New York, reminding you to always say yes to adventure, even if it occasionally tries to murder you with chili peppers. Until next time, keep wandering, keep exploring, and maybe keep some milk handy just in case. Safe travels, everyone.